Welcome back to AWE TV. My name is Mark Pizer. I'm here with David Marimon, CEO of Catchoom. David, thanks for joining us here. Last night was the Augie Awards, and Catchoom got an honorable mention for Best Toolkit. Your response?
We were really happy about that.
Yeah.
I think that being in the same line as Wikitude and Euphoria, competing for the best tool and getting an honorable mention.
Sure.
I mean, 3 years ago we got the Augies for the best startup.
Oh, cool.
And now we are here fighting to get the best tool. So I think that this is a very good trajectory for us, and the recognition, we really appreciate that the jury took that into account.
Cool, yeah. It's great to see they didn't choose just one. There are a lot of options for people to choose, and I think it's appropriate to mention the ones and recognize the ones that are players.
Yeah.
What are some of your customers saying about your SDK?
So there are different things in our SDK. I think that one of the things that there are probably two things that stand out. One is the performance of the image recognition part.
Okay.
And the other one is how easy to use it is, in the sense of the short time that it takes to integrate it. Because we take both things into account, right? So we have to be very performing in the terms of technology. And one thing that I can mention is that we have had 420 million image recognitions to date of our core engine, running in the cloud for other customers, running inside our platform Crafter. And this makes us believe in the power of the performance of this image recognition tool.
That's a lot of numbers, 420 million. That's,
yes,
yeah.
And only last year we did more than 325 million. And it was partially because there was the World Cup, and there were applications around the World Cup. Brazil is a big country, and football moves a lot of people. So I guess that's probably the reason why we had such an amazing increase.
Yeah.
And coming back to the other point, so we try to deliver tools that people would love to use because it's so easy to integrate. You just read a tutorial, you understand it, you can integrate it, and that's kind of the feedback that we are receiving.
Okay. Also,
we try to be very supportive of our community. So anytime they have an issue, we try to go there and understand exactly what they need.
Sure. That, to me, that's important, because a developer needs to know that the tool that they're using is backed by a company, and you let them know by answering their questions, or the developer relations. They know there is a heartbeat behind this, that this technology, there's someone there helping me out. I'm not in this alone.
Yeah, there are real people there, and actually one of the advantages of our company is probably that when anybody in the community asks for help, they get direct access to the people who implement this software.
Okay.
Which means that there are no extra layers. We are not splitting these two things. The community has direct access to the engineers.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you mentioned it's easy to jump into. I'm assuming you took feedback from your developers, and you've been changing that, making it easy to use, right?
Yes.
Tell me about the path to get to that easy to use.
So there are several things. So one is we have native SDKs for iOS and Android, and we have a certain number of plugins. For instance, for PhoneGap, Cordova, and Unity. And Unity probably is one of the most appreciated ones, because developers who already got used to Unity, they know how to create their content, they know how to build amazing experiences, and by providing a Unity plugin, they know that they can get this performance that I was mentioning before with the creativity that they already have. So this kind of add-ons of plugins is an advantage for developers to get quickly onto the road and get things done.
Question I've been asking other people sitting where you're sitting, what are your predictions? What do you think AR is heading, whether for Catchoom? What do you think is down the road for us?
So I think that in the next 1, 2, 3 years maybe, we will see what's happening here at the show. Yeah. So last year, industrial applications were like saying, "Hi, we're back. We know we were pioneers in augmented reality. We have come back for the big deal." And this year is all about, I think, industrial applications. There's a lot of things going on here that
backed
we see.
by the HMDs. That's a big thing.
Exactly. That's a big thing. So this will be a big topic, I think, for the next editions for sure. But I think that those HMDs that we are seeing now that have a direct use for industrial applications will come to consumers finally.
Okay.
So I think that in 5 years' time or so, most of the things that we have been doing in the early days of success of expansion of AR will come back into place, and there will be much more gaming, much more advertising and marketing going on, because consumers will have devices that are meant for them with applications that are meant for them.
Okay. And then AWE 2016, what can we see new from Catchoom?
So I think that there are a couple of things that I mentioned in my talk a couple of days ago. We are working on two main things. One is in terms of research. One is being able to recognize things like clothing.
Okay.
So these are challenging things because
it's always changing its form.
Exactly, it's changing its form. It doesn't have too many visual features.
Sure.
So that's something that we are working on, and that we see a lot of fashionistas expecting us to come with something about that. And the other one is industrial applications. So we are aware of all this trend, and we are working specifically on engineering our software and our technology to be able to cope with challenging conditions where you have pipes, they might be stained, they are in dark conditions. So be able to deliver on that edge.
Not an easy problem to solve, but we'll be looking out for it.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. David Marimon, Mark Pizer, thanks for joining us at AWE TV. Thanks.
Cheers.